What's up, everybody? Welcome back. This is going to be the last time you hear from me before Ironman training starts. Got about 2 days left until the plan starts, and we're going to go over a few things to expect in the next few months. What you can expect to hear from me, what kind of content you're going to get out of this channel, and where the journey might take us. So I'm here to talk about a few different things today. First, I want to give a big shout out to everybody that's been watching, everyone who's been subscribing and following along so far. This is kind of why this channel was started. So if you're already here or already watching the videos, you're going to be able to see, progress for the whole thing coming up. 20 weeks away, Ironman Chattanooga, the end of September. We'll also have Ironman 70.3 Maine 4 weeks before that, a deferral from last year. So that's going to fit right into the training progress. We're going to talk about just a little bit of the training coming up, what to expect, what kind of things, how I selected this training program. Hopefully anybody out there that's looking to maybe step up and do some type of 70.3 or Ironman distance type race that's an amateur, just like myself. Thank you everybody as well. Big shout out. So far we have about 1,200 views from the videos that we've published over the last 6 weeks. And things are progressing. I'm looking to do about a video a week discussing the progress of this Ironman training, which we're going to talk about today. And even if you're not an athlete, you just happen to stumble upon this channel or you know me, to be able to come along with the process is what I really enjoy, is the process leading up to the race. The day of the race, it's a long day, I'm sure. All my other races that I've done, just really long days. But what I really thrive off of is that journey from the day you start that training plan, or actually months before when you set that training plan up. You get everything laid out, then you implement that plan, go through that journey, and then what it feels like when you finally finish that race. The day of, that's just, that's a victory lap, whatever it is. Whether it's a half marathon, a 70.3, whatever type of race it is, that day's, that's your finishing lap, your victory lap. You've put in the work, hopefully, and you get to enjoy the day. And remember, that finish line, that lasts forever, so that's why we're doing this. All right, so where I have been so far this year. We started back in January for a 50K plan, which we just completed 4 weeks ago. And then I had a 4-week interim period, basically between the 50K and when Ironman training started. The goal of that was to just kind of keep a nice steady base the whole time. Just go through, maybe just do some strength work, keep a certain distance run and bike, and just kind of recover the body and get prepped to start this training plan. Unfortunately, about 3 weeks ago, I tested positive for COVID. It happens, happened through work and exposure. So it kind of derailed things a little bit. Only silver lining in the whole thing is if I had to choose a certain week period during the year to have this happen, it would have been within that 4-week period. Because over the last week, I feel like I've recovered now. I've had some key base building workouts to test, my aerobic and lung capacity since then, and everything seems like it's pretty good. Thankfully, Ironman training can start on time. Everybody's healthy, family's good. It's definitely an interesting experience. Definitely 2, 3, 4 days of feeling like complete shit, in other words. Very tired, very run down, very just coming off of so well running it to being able to really not function and get off the couch was pretty crappy. But we're all good now. We're back, we're recovered. Next time you see me, be nice and clean shaven. We'll be back to business. During this whole thing, I said, you know what? Let's grow a beard for a little while. So that's why you see me like this. So that's where I've been. Just kind of had to lay up. I think it was a 5 or 6 day period where I couldn't do any workouts at all. That's fine. Body needed a rest. It's probably about 85%, I feel. The motivation's back up. I kind of wasn't feeling motivated the past 2 weeks. All right, so now the infamous question that I've gotten from some people when they found out that I was doing Ironman Chattanooga is, why Ironman Chattanooga? Well, I actually wasn't really looking to do an Ironman yet this year. Last year I wanted to get a little faster at the 70.3 distance. I wasn't able to because everything got canceled. I was going to push everything that I had planned last year into this year, do 2 or 3 70.3 races and try and PR at one of those races. But I had this opportunity. I fundraise and raise money for Team Blue Line, and this is going to be the Team Blue Line race where a lot of the members are doing it this year in Chattanooga. So I signed up with them. That's where we're going. We're kind of expediting the process a year ahead. Maybe I would have probably looked at doing an Ironman next year, but this is where we're at. So time to get going here. 20 weeks away. We're going to talk about the plan real quick, how I chose my plan. I threw a poll up this past week on Instagram about to all the triathletes that I follow and athletes about when you're prepping for your races, whether it's your A race, your B race, whatever it is, are you self-coached or do you hire a coach? And it was pretty split down the middle as far as do people self-coach themselves or hire a coach. And now I know some coaches that actually are coached by other coaches. I think having a coach in a situation like this is probably, invaluable. Just if you're new to something and you're not used to it and you want somebody to lay everything out and basically hold you accountable to get that work done, that's probably the way to go. Looking at the results of the people that responded that I know personally that, put the self-coach option, I can just tell through that some of those people are a little more disciplined with their structured workouts than some of the other people. It seems like they kind of hold themselves a lot more accountable, and the type of person that I am. So for myself, I've been self-coached since the beginning. Obviously surrounding myself with people that are knowledgeable and people that are coached helps out huge because you're able to pick brains and talk about things, and they can help you out. People that have done a race before can help you out. That's invaluable as well. But myself, it all started, if you've seen the video, my intro video a few weeks back, all started just with 5K stuff. Trying to run, trying to do something, trying to build habits, trying to build discipline. And, something simple like couch to 5K. We had a goal, want to do a 5K. Look up online, do my research, figure out how to do it the right way, properly, not just go out, run, and get yourself all banged up or injured. And then naturally things that progress after that. You want to run a 10K, you want to run a half marathon, finding these plans online, one that works for you. So the biggest thing that I found for myself is my work schedule or my life schedule, I should say, is super hectic. I work full time, my wife works part time, we have 2 children, we have a 6-year-old and a 4-year-old. We're basically the sole caregivers for them as far as watching them throughout the week. One of them's homeschooled this year, so we're on top of that as well. There's sometimes just not enough time in the week. So what are you gonna do? Well, it's tough, I think, for myself to be coached by somebody because unless that person has that same type of lifestyle, they don't understand just how hectic your schedule can be throughout the week. So I needed a plan that's flexible. I always look for a training plan when I'm looking for something that's simple language to listen, to follow, nothing too crazy about how to do a workout with percentages of this and time, like just a complicated workout. So naturally, what do? You look up things easy or super simple 5K plan or simple half marathon plan that just gives you metrics you have to hit, certain mileage on certain weeks and workouts, and as long as you do those workouts, you should be fine on race day. And that's my goal. I want to be fine on race day. We want to always finish the race, maybe pick a time we'll be happy about or a little more happier than just finishing, and go have fun. If I ever tried to become competitive with times versus other people and stuff, then maybe I think I would step up and hire a coach and go that route. But things that work for me, I'm gonna follow a very similar plan I followed for my 70.3 training. I'll put a link down in the description so you can kind of take a look and see what it is. It's a plan by Matt Fitzgerald. If you haven't heard that name before, he's very big with his 80-20 training, which I talked about in I believe the FTP video. 80% is of your weekly volume is slow aerobic endurance work, and 20% of it is harder interval work, and that gives you a nice mix. There's a big philosophy behind it. I'm not going to get too much into it here because you can watch videos all day and read literature all day about that 80-20 philosophy, but it works great for me. And what I like about the plan is it's actually, I believe, labeled super simple Ironman plan. It's not that the work is simple, it's about that the structure is simple. So it basically just takes you along 3 swims a week, 3 bikes a week, 3 runs a week, and occasionally on that long bike ride, you'll have to do a brick, which is, running when you get off your bike. So you'll have maybe 4 runs in that week. Basically, as an interval bike and run, there's an endurance, recovery type bike and run, and then on the weekends is your longer workouts, your very long bike ride on a Saturday, your very long run on a Sunday, and then on that Saturday bike ride, sometimes you'll have to go for a run after you get off your bike. And everything is incremental. Everything is periodized to be a little more volume each week. That's basically how these plans work. And as long as you stay with that, you'll start, say you have a 20-mile bike ride. Next week you're going to go up a certain percentage to maybe 30 miles and then 40 miles. And the good thing about this plan is it mentally for me helps out because it's a 3-week block of building with higher, longer numbers. And then you get a week rest with just slightly, they decrease the volume, your body can recover. You can get, that motivation back to start, crushing those numbers again for the following block. So it's 3 weeks and then a week rest. Well, it's not really rest, but it's less work. And we're gonna go through 4 of those. So it's a 4-week block, 4, 8, 12, 16, and then the final block, which is kind of like a taper into the race. Ironman main 70.3 is gonna fall basically on the last recovery week going into the last block. So we just got to change some things around for that week or so because it's going to be a decent effort, but the mileage isn't going to be as deep as I should have been at the plan for that. So it should balance out, and then that's where we're going to be. So that's what's kind of plan I'm doing. Should be pretty fun each week or two. I'm going to, talk about what kind of workouts I did, what kind of key workouts, any tips or tricks. So if you ever decide to do this plan, you can almost follow along week by week and see what things changed and whatnot. And as well, I have to be flexible in my schedule because I may not be able to do that long bike ride or run on a Saturday, Sunday, and I'm gonna have to be very flexible in getting the workouts done over the course of the week, but maybe on a Friday I'm gonna have to go out and do that 60-mile, 80-mile bike ride because that's the day that I have available that week to do that long bike ride. And then I'll just change up the plan along with that. So that's how I plan on getting it done. Like I said, this is just a fun thing to do, training and all that. It's gonna be fun to document the journey, especially for my kids. They're 4 and 6 now. They see that I do a lot of this stuff, but even though they'll be at the race, I don't think they'll really mentally understand how much work goes into this. But a few years from now, when they're able to look back and understand why I was leaving the house for 4 or 5 hours at a time on some weekends, and seeing the bigger picture of what hard work really does, I think that's going to be also, an invaluable lesson to them. So again, it's going to be great. We're repping Team Blue Line while we're down there. If you don't know what Team Blue Line is, I'll put a link down in the description as well for my donation link for the year. We help fallen officers, their families, injured officers. We do a lot of work now with PTSD for officers, and it's just a great organization. Chad Wallace runs the organization. Amazing. It really is, the families that he helps. You can check out all the families that we help and how we help in the description as well. I'll put Team Blue Line, the actual organization's link down for you. So that's it. I don't know what else really to go over here. I'm just super stoked to finally get into an actual training program again. I thrive on, I can be very self-motivated and self-coached for myself when I'm in a planning for a race. The actually only parts I struggle would be when I don't have a race planned, and it's that interim period where I kind of just don't know what to do, and I don't find a lot of joy in that, because to me there's no journey at that point, even though you're just working out for yourself or training for yourself. But this is a goal, this is a journey, this is going to be awesome. In here is basically, we kind of went over it. I'll show you a few things on how it's a lot to take in when you look at this 20-week plan. But let me show you real quick how we're going to go and break this down week by week. So if you've seen the Pain Cave video, kind of showed you around a little bit. Things were a little different when we were doing a lot of the run training, but this right here is going to be the board where every week, so I'm already set up for next week here, week number 1, 20 weeks to go. We got our goals set up, workout types, our plan that we're going to write out every week. It's very important to not just wing this and then all of a sudden you realize, oh, I can't get that long run or ride in on a Saturday or Sunday. If you plan ahead, you won't fail. So I'll write down the days I have to work, the days I have to watch my children, the days that my wife's working, whatever times it slots basically I have allotted to be able to get this training in is what I break it down in here. And it's very simple. I have all my workouts right here. So there you go. That's how I'm going to break it down every week. again, we're going to come over to this board right here. You may have seen when I had some things up from my prior race. I already started printing out some course information for Chattanooga. I'll probably break this into 70.3 main and then Chattanooga stuff right here. I'll put the elevation of the bike. I'll study that. I'll have run this race again mentally multiple times by the time I get to that day. So when I'm out there training, I can kind of visually be at that race. That's going to give me that mental advantage, because that's one thing that some people don't understand is there's a huge mental training as well when you go through any type of training plan. Just the accountability, the discipline, putting in all these hours ahead of time. It's got to build that mind for that day when you're going to be out there. You know, that day I plan on being out there for the Ironman 12 to 13 hours possibly. So that's a long day. That's a full work day right there from start to finish of working, of being out there. We're going to swim 2.4 miles. We're going to bike not even 112 miles, 116 miles, because this bike course is longer than the other bike courses. It's actually longer than a regular Ironman. And then we're going to run a marathon afterwards. And we're going to do that. And again, like I said, hopefully this motivates some people. You know, it's going to show my kids what hard work is. And we're going to get it done. So I think from here, you know, we're out. Super motivated. I'm going to take the next day or two, just kind of decompress before all this starts. And then we're going to jump right into it. Next time you hear from me, hopefully we'll have checked that box every day and we'll have gotten all these workouts in, and I'll let you know how it's going. So again, thanks for listening. Thanks for following along. So that's it. Stay healthy. Enjoy those miles. Everybody out there that's locally training for those races that's coming up, I see a lot of you are deep into those plans. Keep grinding. Keep getting it done. You know, Lake Placid's coming soon. I know there's a bunch of people doing that. Just keep doing it. Stay disciplined. Stay healthy. Balance that life 1 mile at a time. You know your reasons why you do this. Keep going and enjoy it. Remember, the journey is always fun. We'll see you on the other side. Later.